Toward the middle of May, in the year 1660, at 9 o'clock in the morning, when the already hot sun was drying the dew on the ramparts of the Château de Blois, a little cavalcade, composed of 3 men and 2 junior pages, was returning into the city across the Loire Bridge. This produced no effect on the loiterers on the span, other than a movement of the hand to the head in salute, and a movement of the mouth to say, in the purest French spoken in France, "Here comes Monsieur, returning from the hunt." And that was all. However, as the horses climbed the steep slope that ascends from the river to the chateau, several shop boys approached the last horse, which bore, hanging from its saddle-tree, several bird carcasses hung by their beaks. Seeing this, the curious lads showed, with rustic candour, their disdain for such meagre game, and after loudly announcing that hawking was a poor sort of sport, they went back to their work. Only one of these onlookers, a chubby lad in the mood for a jest, lingered long enough to ask why Monsieur, who, thanks to his vast revenues, had his choice of amusements, would choose such a pathetic entertainment, and was answered, "Don't you know that Monsieur's main diversion is to be bored?" The cheerful shop boy shrugged his shoulders in a gesture that said, plain as day, "In that case, I'd rather be plain Pierre than a prince," and everyone went about their business. Meanwhile, Monsieur continued on his way with an air at once so melancholy and so majestic that onlookers would surely have admired it, if there'd been any onlookers. But the citizens of Blois couldn't forgive Monsieur for having chosen their merry city to be bored in, and whenever they saw the royal sourpuss coming, they slipped away, yawning, or withdrew inside, to escape the dour influence of that long, pale visage, those half-lidded eyes, and that slouching physique. Thus the worthy prince was greeted by deserted streets nearly every time he ventured out. Now, this irreverence on the part of the citizens of Blois was, in truth, very improper, for Monsieur, after the young king, and maybe even before the king, was the foremost noble in the realm. In fact, God, who had granted the reigning king, Louis XIV, the happiness of being the son of Louis XIII, had granted Monsieur the honour of being the son of the great Henri IV. So it should have been an object of pride for the city of Blois that Gaston d'Orléans chose to hold this court in the ancient hall of the Estates General. But it was the destiny of this exalted prince to excite indifference rather than admiration on the part of the populace,